Be honest, have you ever felt a little happy when someone you don't like messed up? Maybe even smiled when a celebrity got caught in a scandal or a rival at work had a project go wrong. You're not a bad person, and you're definitely not alone. You're experiencing Schadenfreude, and your brain is literally designed to feel this way. And today, we're going to explore exactly why. The word Schadenfreude comes from German. Schaden means damage, and Freud means joy. So literally, it's damaged joy. It's that secret, sometimes guilty pleasure we get from witnessing someone else's misfortune. It sounds a bit dark, doesn't it? But it's a deeply human emotion that scientists have been studying for years. In fact, research shows that this feeling can activate the pleasure centers in our brain, the same areas that light up when we eat a delicious meal or receive a reward. But why? Why would our brains reward us for seeing someone else fail? To understand this, we need to look at three key psychological drivers: justice, self-enhancement, and group dynamics. Let's start with justice. Imagine a public figure who always preaches about morality but then gets caught in a huge scandal. The feeling of satisfaction you get isn't just about their failure, it's about the restoration of balance. It feels like cosmic justice. Our brains are wired to seek fairness, and when we see someone we perceive as undeserving or hypocritical get their comeuppance, it feels like the world is being set right again. This is especially true if that person has wronged us personally. Their failure feels like a validation that our negative feelings were justified all along. Next up is self-enhancement. This one is all about social comparison. We are constantly, often, subconsciously comparing ourselves to others. When we see someone who we envy, maybe they're richer, more successful, or more attractive stumble, it can temporarily boost our own self-esteem. It's like our brain is saying, see? They're not so perfect after all. Maybe I'm not doing so badly in comparison. This isn't necessarily malicious. It's a primitive mechanism to make ourselves feel better in a competitive social world. Think about reality TV shows where glamorous people have dramatic meltdowns. Part of the appeal is seeing that even the seemingly perfect have problems, which makes our own struggles feel more normal and manageable. The third driver is group dynamics, or intergroup aggression. This is the us versus them mentality. Think about sports. When your rival team loses a big game, their fans' sorrow is your pure joy. This isn't about the individual players. It's about your group identity winning over another. This tribal instinct goes way back in our evolutionary history. Feeling pleasure at a rival group's failure strengthened our own group's cohesion and morale, which was crucial for survival. In the modern world, this plays out in politics, brand loyalty, and even online fandoms. When the other side fails, it reinforces our sense of belonging and the rightness of our own group. So is Schadenfreude always harmless? Not exactly. While it's a normal human emotion, it exists on a spectrum. On one end, you have the harmless chuckle at a funny fail video. On the other end, it can become something much darker. The danger starts when the pleasure we feel isn't just a fleeting reaction, but becomes a motivating force. For example, in the world of online cancel culture, Schadenfreude can fuel a mob mentality. People might not be seeking justice anymore, but are actively delighting in the complete destruction of someone's career and reputation. The anonymity of the internet makes this even easier, allowing us to dehumanize the target and enjoy their downfall without feeling any personal responsibility or empathy. This is where empathy comes in. Empathy is the antidote to the dark side of Schadenfreude. When we can put ourselves in the other person's shoes and imagine their pain and humiliation, the pleasure we might have felt often evaporates. The difference between a healthy and an unhealthy experience of Schadenfreude often lies in our ability to switch from that initial rush of pleasure to a more compassionate perspective. If you find yourself consistently and intensely enjoying the suffering of others, it might be a sign of deeper issues like unresolved envy, low self-esteem, or a lack of empathy. It can be a red flag that you read deriving your self-worth from others' failures rather than your own successes. So what can we do about it? The first step is simple awareness. Just by understanding why you feel this way, you can start to observe it without judgment. When you feel that spark of pleasure at someone else's mistake, ask yourself, why am I feeling this? Is it because I feel a sense of injustice has been corrected? Is it because I'm feeling insecure and comparing myself to them? Or is it a group identity thing? This self-reflection can stop the emotion from spiraling into something more negative. Instead of dwelling on their failure, you can redirect your focus. Use it as a motivator. If you feel envy, instead of wishing for their downfall, ask yourself what you can do to achieve similar success. Turn that negative competitive energy into positive personal growth. Practicing active empathy is also key. The next time you see a news story about a public figure's downfall, take a moment to imagine what they might be feeling. Think about their family, the personal shame, the loss. This doesn't mean you have to excuse their actions, but it humanizes them. It reminds you that behind every headline and viral clip is a real person experiencing a real and often painful moment. By doing this, you're training your brain to choose compassion over contempt. Ultimately, Schadenfreude is a complex and fascinating part of our psychological makeup. It reveals our deep-seated need for justice, our tendency for social comparison, and our tribal instincts. It's not something to be ashamed of, but it is something to be aware of. It's a mirror that reflects our own insecurities, our values, and our place in the social world. By understanding it, we can ensure that it remains a fleeting, harmless emotion rather than letting it dictate our behavior and turn us into people who thrive on negativity. The goal isn't to never feel Schadenfreude again. That's probably impossible. The goal is to understand it, manage it, and ultimately choose to build our own happiness on our successes, not on the failures of others. Thanks so much for watching. What are your thoughts on Schadenfreude? Have you ever caught yourself feeling it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into human psychology, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.